So today we are going to talk about spying on push traffic and kind of insights and kind of the small details that go into the knowledge that you should have before you will actually start building a campaign. And some of these tools we've actually already mentioned a bit when we have covered the previous chapters. But it's good to go over these again and to get like a complete picture of what's going on and what's possible with spy tools. And maybe I should preface this by saying that you can live your life without spy tools, and a lot of people do, and a lot of people are successful. I know that Colin actually didn't really use spy tools for his Instagram and Facebook ads, and maybe that's why he was so successful. That he kind of had original thoughts, um, so he didn't just copy and paste stuff that everyone had already done, which also meant that everyone had already seen these kinds of ads. So he had unique angles. So he had his kind of own approach. So in that sense, it might be good to try things out before without having a spy tool when you're starting out. But in my view, if you're just getting started and you have no idea what works, it's just a good idea to at least get it for a month. Look at the ads, look what seems to be working for others, look into different geos, make some notes, make some screenshots, export some data if you can, look at the landing pages, look at all the data you can, and make a note of this. And so you can let your account expire if you want to, and usually things aren't changing that much week to week or even month to month. So if you already have looked at it once, then you're set for a year and you should be fine. And so yeah, that's a good place to start. And so let's look at a couple of these spy tools and kind of ways how you can gather information before you get started with your campaign. So the first place that I have open here is actually something that we have already gone through in a bit of detail. So it's a rich push insights page, and this is completely free. You don't even need an account. You can just access it. It's built on Microsoft Power BI, meaning business intelligence, and basically they have three tabs here that you can switch between, or from down here, and you can just look at the countries that you're interested in. So if you're a beginner, maybe you're interested, let's say, in UK, United Kingdom. Yeah, here it is. And so you could see like average CPC by geo, so 3 cents for United Kingdom. That's actually quite good. I'm assuming it's actually higher on desktop. Sorry, on mobile, which is usually the case. So you can see how many people are advertising a specific vertical. So sweeps is actually winning here, and you can see that for desktop, antivirus offers are at the second place, which is a bit surprising. Usually they're not so high up, but after this, it's quite regular stuff here: betting, casino, finance offers, crypto offers, and dating quite low. So these kind of like switched places to what we've usually been seeing. But yeah, if we would just focus on the mobile traffic, we would probably see a bit of a different picture. And in here you can see the average CPC price per device, and yeah, so you can see that desktop computers are actually cheaper to target, which is why maybe this is performing quite well. That on desktop the clicks are cheap. They can get these ads out for pretty cheap, and probably the return is quite good, and maybe it's easy to convert. And you can also see CPC by vertical, and of course you can bid any of these amounts, but this is kind of like what's the effective rate when you are really getting your money's worth back, and when you're scaling stuff like that. For sweeps, you can see 2 cents. It's actually even below the average of 3 cents. And you can say, okay, 2 cents, 3 cents, who cares? It's 1 cent. But if you're looking at percentages, then it's actually 2 cents to 3 cents. That's 50% increase. And if you're scaling, that means 50% ROI, which means that if you would be making a profit otherwise, let's say $1,000, you could essentially double that. So these small changes in CPC rates can actually lead to quite a big differences in outcomes. So it's good to know what you should be bidding and what the other people are bidding, so you wouldn't do anything too crazy. And we'll come back to the bids actually in a little bit. And actually, let's go and jump into. And of course, I encourage you to look at these other tabs as well, the CTR and the impressions reporting, which is kind of interesting data. But I think for us, this is the most important page and most interesting page. But yeah, let's continue with the traffic estimator on propeller ads. Also something that we've already looked at, but just a good quick refresher. So yeah, if you go to propeller ads, you go to traffic chart, and then you select push notification, and you have two options. So basically CPM model option and CPC model option. What we are usually using, sorry, is CPC or clicks, and then of course we can narrow it down by country again. So let's do United Kingdom, and so we can see that in here we are getting a bit of a different rate, but we also know that their traffic is quite good, so maybe that's the reason. So in here it's 8 cents per click, and if we go to mobile, then it's probably even higher. Actually, it's not, that's the same. So that's good news for us. And so you can compare it to other countries. So it's sometimes it's useful to see where you're getting cheap clicks. Like for example, Spain should be quite cheap country. So where is it? Yeah, so 2 cents, so 4 times cheaper than United Kingdom. So if the other metrics remain the same, and if the payout is maybe just 2 times smaller, then you could double the profits. So because 2 times 2. And so yeah, these kinds of details, it's always good to look to see what the rates are, and they vary from traffic source to traffic source. So it's important that you know what you should be paying on your traffic source. And again, something that we've already covered, but I'll show you quickly this again. One of my favorite tools here is the traffic estimator. So on the campaign creation page, so let's select push notifications, CPC, and scroll down, and here it is. And in here, yeah, you can just see depending on your click. Okay, let's put in a country as well. So let's do United Kingdom again, and it will give you a recommended bid here. So in here it's, well, that's strange. This isn't matching up with the data. Oh, now it is. Okay, I think it just updated. So anyway, so now we can see how much we have to bid to get certain amount of traffic per day. So let's say we need to get, I don't know, 10,000 clicks. Then we actually just need to bid like somewhere in this range. So under 1 cent. And if we need to get 50,000 clicks, let's say, then we should bid at 4.5 cents. So that's your goal, and you can of course start slow and then scale up your bid if you see that it's working and you can afford to bid higher, because again here, like the difference between this bid and this bid is actually 5 times, as you can see. So this also probably means 5 times drop in ROI, which in most cases you just can't afford just like this. So you'll have to make some optimizations for your campaign before you can make this huge jump. But yeah, we'll cover bidding in future as well a bit, but just as a refresher. So we have already looked at propeller ads before, so let's not waste too much time on here. Our favorite spying tool, and I guess the favorite for a lot of people, is of course Adplexity. Adplexity has a specific push tool, so push.adplexity.com. It's very good. I think it's not perfect, but it's very good. And from what I've seen out of the tools that are out there, this is definitely the best. And so what are the options that we are using here? Let's take another, again, the example of United Kingdom. So of course you can do search by country. So we'll narrow it down. We select United Kingdom. And we'll see the initial batch of results. What I usually do then afterwards is I go to, so because right now we're just getting, so these are the newest ones. You can see that, okay, it just has been running for 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. So this doesn't actually tell us if this is profitable, because if you're running it for 1 day, you're probably just testing it out. So what I usually do is I look at what has been scaled. So in other terms, what has received the most amount of traffic. And so I sort by this. And so now I'm getting these ads that are actually working well. And what I usually do as a secondary step is that this stays running. I increase this to like 1 week or so. And so I know that these ads have been running for a while and they get traffic. So these are two good signs in kind of one package. And then I just start scrolling down, and in a lot of cases, for most of these ads, I don't really care about, and I can actually narrow down a bit more. So in our case, we are using mobile, so let's only narrow down to mobile offers. And now we're getting something that the offers are kind of more interesting to us. You can see that there is a lot of sweepstake offers here already showing up at the top, but we can even narrow further if we want to. And so you can narrow down by affiliate network. So let's say you are working with one specific network and you want to see what kind of offers from this network are working well. So you can then narrow down by your network name here. So in some cases it makes sense. You can narrow down by your tracking tool. If I'm honest, I haven't found real life usage for this. I have never used it. It's an interesting feature, and but I don't really have a good use case for this. However, there is traffic source, and a lot of people kind of disregard this, but I think it's interesting because what I usually do is I look at the traffic sources that I'm running at, because I know that if other people are running these ads on those networks, then it means that those ads can be run on those networks, meaning it doesn't go against their policy. Because you see some of these ads that are way too aggressive that I could never run in the networks, or sorry, traffic sources that I would usually use. So in those cases, I can just narrow down. So let's say I use propeller ads only, or some other network. So I could narrow down further. But usually already this is a good starting point. And if I want to, and I see something that's too aggressive, like these images for push, I think like this is quite crazy that something like this has gone through. But we don't really run adult dating or adult offers, so we don't really care. But yeah, these offers here, they look good. So it has been running for 8 days on Rich Push, and you can see that both for Android phone and also Windows. So let's take a closer look at this offer. So you can see the icon is quite the usual one, the kind of gift wrapped box. Again, copy also not anything too special. So it's congratulations. So it's like you have won something, and there's like something that kind of pushes on this urgency angle, and then the actual angle is here, that you can shop at Argos for free, basically spending £1,300. And you can see these details and where it's being run. I can already see that in this case I don't think that these links will work for me, but let's try out, because you will probably need, yes, that didn't work. You will probably need a VPN for checking these offers. And I actually have NordVPN, but for the sake of saving time here, I won't show it. But in your case, if you can afford NordVPN or other VPN service, just buy it, change to this country, and you can just look at these offers probably. But yeah, in some cases these links don't work, and that's fine. Mm, so what you can do is just go to another offer. So you don't need to spend too much time on this. Just keep in mind that this copy probably works, this offer probably works, and keep going through these other kinds of offers until you find landing pages that work for you, and then you can just open the landing page if you think that it looks good. Then you can get like a ripping tool and rip the lander and upload it to S3 or wherever. Or if your affiliate network is offering you landing pages, then you could just go to your affiliate network and say, I would like to run this offer. Can you provide me a landing page? In a lot of cases, they can, especially if you have already brought them in some money. And then you can just use the predefined landing page, and those usually work well because these affiliate networks, they know what they're doing. They already have optimized those landing pages, and you don't need to worry about any scripts or anything malicious that will try to take away your profits. So let's close Adplexity. Let's go close Rich Push, and so here is a tool that I have used a few months ago, and this was actually, it's interesting because they give you a fully free trial that you can try out for, I think, 24 hours. But the thing is that if you sign up for this new account for free, you can keep making these accounts for each day. So if you just want to check something, you can create another account and you can just jump in. I won't do it right now, but it's super easy. So this is all the fields that you have to fill, and actually this isn't even required. So, and you can see that I have in the history, I have put just in gibberish here. So yeah, it takes a minute to sign up, and you can check their tool. It's for free. It's limited by some number of countries, but it will give you a good idea. So if you don't have anything, and if you cannot afford to spend money on a spy tool, then there are free options. So SpyPush is one of them. So you can look into this. Another interesting tool, and they are also, I think, a part of AFK forums and have talked about the features they offer there. Anstrex is quite interesting because of the fact that they will show you what other people are bidding for their ads, which is kind of unusual feature. And at first, I wasn't sure how they know this data. Later on, when running some campaigns, I actually got to know how it works, and it's quite simple. I actually wrote about it in the AFK forum premium section. But yeah, if you look at their pricing, so it's I would say it's reasonable price. It was a good spy tool as well. I checked them out a while ago, and so yeah, for this 79 you get all the countries. You can rip landers and rip and deploy landers, which is quite useful, and for me that was one of the more interesting features alongside this seeing other people's bids. Meaning that if you see a good lander, you can just push a button, it gets ripped, and if you have connected your Amazon S3, you can just deploy in one click. So super useful if you're using S3, and you could just rip a lot of landers, and so quite an interesting solution. And I think this is a smart move from their side. On the bidding side, so what I discovered, and I'll show you this premium thread that I wrote here about this. is that, so I was looking, again, this is a screenshot from Adplexity. And so this is the landing page link, and you can see all kinds of parameters here for tracking and stuff like this. And at the end, I noticed something interesting, and this, it says feed ID equals feed 2. And if you have tried out a number of traffic networks, then you know that the term feed is used in Megapush. And so Megapush actually differentiates where the traffic is coming from. Feed 2 in their case is actually kind of their own traffic source, and like feed 3 is maybe coming from propeller ads. So they buy their traffic from other traffic networks, and then you can choose which feeds you use. So in this case, we actually know both that it came from Megapush, that it's their own Megapush's traffic source, this feed 2. And you can, if you are in Megapush, you can actually go there, and there is like, you can select feed 2 and you will get the same traffic, or similar at least. And more interesting, so the last parameter here, bid, 1.27 cents. Again, super interesting. I wasn't aware at first that bid info is so plainly shown in the URLs, but it is in some cases, at least for some trackers, and of course only for CPC models. So you cannot get this information for all campaigns, so it matters if the person who is advertising is actually using CPC or CPM model. But yeah, definitely interesting to see this kind of info. And so if you look back to all of this that we've gone over, like how much to bid, what does the copy look like, what do the images look like, what does the icon look like, how to get the landers, how to get the offers, then by now you should actually have a pretty good picture of the kind of the preliminary steps that you need before you start your campaign. And actually in the next one, we are stepping one step closer to this. We are going to show you how to set up the tracking correctly. In our case, we use Volume, which we think is the best. It has been around for ages. They know what they're doing. It's quite reliable. It's just easy to use. It's well documented. If you have any questions, their support is good. So we will show you how to set up tracking, and then we're ready to actually kind of move on with the campaign creation and see what kind of offers to pick and stuff like that. But yeah, from spying side, this is it for now. There isn't anything too crazy here. Just try out a few spy tools, see what you find out, look at the countries that you're interested in, look what's working there for other people, and try to make your own version of those working versions that you saw. Try to make it better somehow, try to make it more interesting, and then just run a campaign. And that's how easy it is, at least in theory. There are some other components that go into successful campaign, and we will look into those in the next lectures. So keep on coming back, and yeah, we will have a profitable campaign up and running pretty soon. But that's it for now, and see you in the next one. Cheers.